Fine-grained authorization, or FGA, uses relationship-based access control to solve authorization at scale for developers. FGA enables application developers to design authorization models with any level of granularity, from coarse-grained to fine-grained, in a central, flexible, fast, scalable, and easy-to-use way. It grants access to individual resources in your system and lets you control the level of access that you provide to your users. FGA also enables iteration, allowing for more granular access control as the product grows. It is inspired by Zanzibar, which is the system Google uses to drive authorization across products like Google Drive, YouTube, and Google Cloud. FGA is a standalone product. It is not directly tied to the workforce identity or the customer identity clouds, but will eventually be easy to integrate on both platforms. FGA is geared towards application developers who need a complex authorization solution. In the past, authorization was solved using role-based access control and attribute-based access control. When application developers needed more granular authorization, they would have to write additional code directly into the application. This was complicated and introduced security risks. FGA extends the concept of role-based access control with relationship-based access control. Relationship-based access control lets you incorporate application resources when defining authorization policies. FGA is flexible enough to model any application domain at a large scale. It enables user collaboration and granular access control in your applications through the use of APIs. It can also scale to billions of globally distributed users and resources. Another important feature is centralized authorization. By moving authorization logic out of the application code, FGA enables seamless authorization for all products. It makes authorization rules explicit and standardizes how authorization is done across your entire company. This makes it easier to implement authorization for new features or products and centralizes reporting capabilities like decision logs and audits. FGA decides whether or not a user can access a resource based on two factors: the authorization model and the state of the system. The authorization model defines object types in the system and their possible relationships with a user or group of users, as well as any other object or group of objects. This model usually remains static and rarely changes except when new products or features are introduced. The next decision point is the state of the system, which is represented by a series of relationship tuples. Each tuple contains a user, a relation, and an object. You create and delete these tuples as objects are shared across your services. For example, when a new user is added to a group, the following tuple is created. Note that each object in the tuple is made up of a type and an object ID. The relations in the tuple have to first be defined in the authorization model. The FGA service answers an authorization check by determining whether a relationship exists between an object and a user. This is done by considering the authorization model and the state of the system as represented by the relationship tuples. There are two ways to manage your FGA setup. The first is the Okta FGA dashboard. The dashboard enables you to create, visualize, and test your authorization models. From the dashboard, you can also add relationship tuples and run queries to view how the relationship is established between a user and an object. The FGA dashboard also includes a developer mode, which provides a single-page view with panels for managing the authorization model, relationship tuples, and assertion models all at once. Another important function of the FGA dashboard is to generate API credentials that you can use to access the FGA APIs and the SDKs. This brings us to the second way of managing your FGA setup, the fine-grained authorization API. You can use fine-grained authorizations API to write authorization data to Okta FGA and update your code to start authorizing user requests. For additional information about fine-grained authorization and other Okta products, please visit our website at www.okta.com.